Before every legend, there was a beginning. For generations, the Blue Kingdom had known nothing but peace. Behind its mighty walls, families lived without fear, believing that tomorrow would always be brighter than today. Its soldiers stood watch with honor, not because war was near, but because peace was worth protecting. Every sunrise brought new hope. Every sunset ended with gratitude. No one imagined that this peaceful kingdom was living through its final days. Far beyond the mountains, beyond the forgotten lands, an ancient darkness had awakened. It did not seek peace. It did not seek glory. It came for only one purpose: to conquer. One warrior answered its call, then another, then hundreds. Soon, thousands marched beneath the banners of the Black Kingdom, and with every step they took, the world moved closer to war. The first warning reached the Blue Kingdom before sunrise. No one spoke. No one questioned the message. They could see the fear in the eyes of every messenger. Within moments, the bells of the royal castle echoed across the kingdom. The gates were closed. The walls were reinforced. Every commander answered the king's call. Through the night, the sound of hammers never stopped. Blacksmiths forged swords, armor, and shields, not for glory, but for survival. No one knew how many enemies were coming. Only one thing was certain: the greatest battle in the kingdom's history was about to begin. The news spread faster than the wind. Before the sun could rise, the entire kingdom was already awake. No one waited for orders. Everyone knew this was the day they had prepared for. The sound of hammers echoed through every corner of the city. Not to build, but to protect. Every sword carried the hope of a family. Every shield carried the promise that someone would return home. There was no fear in their eyes, only determination. Because if the Blue Kingdom fell, everything they loved would fall with it. At sunrise, the enemy finally appeared. An endless sea of black armor stretched across the valley. No one could measure their numbers. No one could see where the army ended. Silence fell across the battlefield. For one final moment, both kingdoms stood face to face, waiting, knowing that once the first horn was heard, there would be no turning back. At first light, the valley stood in silence. The Blue Kingdom held its ground. Across the battlefield, the Black Kingdom waited, an endless army, driven by only one purpose. For a single moment, time itself seemed to stand still. Every soldier knew the next sound they would hear would change their lives forever. Then, the first war horn echoed across the valley. The battlefield had become a sea of fire. Steel clashed against steel. The cries of war echoed across the valley. The Blue Army fought with everything they had. But the enemy never stopped coming. Then, a single figure appeared. He did not charge. He did not speak. He simply watched, as if the outcome of the battle had already been decided. The Black King. The first horn shattered the silence. Within seconds, the battlefield erupted into chaos. Thousands of warriors charged without hesitation. Arrows darkened the sky. The earth trembled beneath countless footsteps. Steel crashed against steel. Every soldier fought for the kingdom they called home. Every strike, every shield, every sacrifice brought them one step closer to destiny. The battlefield disappeared until only two warriors remained. One fought for hope, the other for conquest. Every strike shook the valley. Every clash echoed across the battlefield. Neither warrior stepped back. Neither accepted defeat. In that moment, the fate of the Blue Kingdom rested on a single duel. The battle had reached its breaking point. The Blue Army refused to surrender. Even as the enemy closed in, they continued to fight. But deep within the chaos, two warriors stood above the rest. One carried the hopes of an entire kingdom. The other carried the power to destroy it. Every clash grew more violent. Every strike pushed them closer. The duel grew fiercer with every passing second. Neither warrior showed fear. Neither warrior was willing to fall. Every clash sent shockwaves across the battlefield. Soldiers from both kingdoms could only watch, as two destinies collided before their eyes. The blue warrior fought for his people. The black king fought for absolute conquest. And with every strike, with every clash, the battlefield grew quieter. Not because the war had ended, but because every eye was fixed on a single fight. Neither warrior could gain the advantage. Every strike was answered with another. Every step pushed them closer to their final decision. Around them, the battle still raged. Neither warrior was willing to yield. Every strike carried the weight of an entire kingdom. The blue warrior fought with unshaken courage. The black king answered with relentless power. The battlefield trembled beneath their blades. For a moment, nothing else mattered. Not the armies, not the flames, only the fate of two kingdoms, hanging on a single battle. Then, the clash came to an end. But the war was far from over. Beyond the smoke, beyond the fallen warriors,